Hey, what if I told you we took a distressed property sale with multiple lawsuits on it, a looming foreclosure date, and a tenant that was refusing to move and turned it into $300,000 extra for our client? If that sounds interesting to you, hang in, let's watch this video. If you're selling a distressed property in Los Angeles, it can get messy and fast. Lawsuits, foreclosure, probate, title issues, it can be total chaos, but you are not stuck. If you're in a tough spot and need foreclosure help in Los Angeles, are trying to sell a home in foreclosure, or in probate litigation with a sibling, this real life story shows what's possible when you play it smart. And watch to the end to see how we flipped a deal that was going downhill into a huge win. All right, so we were referred by a probate litigation attorney from a reputable law firm to assist in the marketing and sale of a single family residence that was recently inherited by our client. Unfortunately for our client, the sister felt the award of the house and full title and the sale proceeds was unfair and wanted to drag our client, her sister, through a messy and costly legal battle over interest in the property. Fortunately for our client, she was in good hands with an expert litigation attorney from a high-profile LA firm who successfully convinced a probate judge that our mutual client was entitled to the home and all sale proceeds under the trust agreement established by their parents. Unfortunately for our client, the sibling was in possession of the home and currently living in it, and was refusing to leave or allow the home to be shown to prospective buyers. To make matters worse, there were no funds to pay the mortgage, and during the legal battle, and as a result, the lien holder filed a notice of default and subsequently a notice of trustee sale in an attempt to foreclose on the property. In a panic, our client asked us to place the home on the market and see if any investor type buyers would offer a reasonable price, because she felt like the sister was not going to get out of the property and she was worried about the home being foreclosed upon. Unfortunately, we were not able to get a great price because the sale would have been subject to the existing tenant and the buyers were unable to visually inspect the property. Now here's where we kicked it into high gear for our client. The very first thing we did is we pulled a preliminary title report to discover what liens or encumbrances existed with title, and in doing so, we uncovered a lis pendens on the property, which would have further complicated the sale or made it impossible to close escrow. We quickly notified the attorney representing the plaintiff, and we were able to get the lis pendens expunged and properly removed from title so that title would ensure the property and we could move forward with the sale. Next came managing the foreclosure. Baked and cooked from a more than years-long battle with her sibling, the rightful owner feared that the bank would take the property away from her and that she would lose all of the equity that belonged to her. And so she begged us to just get any price you can for it. Following her instructions, we listed the home for sale. Subject to the tenant, was only able to garner an offer of $850,000, far below market value. After going back to her several days of coaching and convincing and discussions, we got her on board and convinced her that we should not take any of these offers and that the bank could not and would not foreclose. They simply needed a letter of explanation as to what was happening. With a gentle but persistent nudge, we asked the client if she would get in touch with the asset manager who was managing the property and put them on notice of the situation. After back and forth with a few drafts, the letter was approved and sent directly to the bank, carefully explaining the situation with an assurance that the property would be sold in 90 days and that all delinquent payments and insurance would be returned to the bank. Needless to say, the asset manager's response was not what we were expecting. It was unfavorable, and it put unnecessary pressure on our client to proceed with any sale they could. And after getting the initial response back, I urged the seller to hire a foreclosure lawyer to file an injunction, which she ultimately did. And it gave her the time needed to get the home sold and on the open market. Next, we asked for permission from our client to contact the sister and negotiate a cash for keys arrangement, arguing that if the sister moved out, it would wind up getting her more money than she would have had the sister decided to stay in. So we kept going and we argued with the sister. We knew she was getting the messages that she'd be better off taking money to move. And if she did not, her refusing to move or open the home could cause additional damages to our client, the sister. At my request, I urged the client to drive by the home and attempt to contact and offer cash for keys. And in a stroke of luck, the sister elected to move on her own and moved out of the property while not giving anyone notice. Thank goodness that happened. Before we proceeded with the sale or taking possession, I knew that the client needed to contact the lawyer to make sure that she was able to take possession of the property. The tenant landlord lawyer recommended that a notice of abandonment be filed. It was filed and issued at the house, which gave the client the right to repossess the property. Ultimately, she did. And finally, our client got possession of the property. We met at the home and we came up with a plan to ready the home for market. Removing all personal property, replacing burnt out light bulbs, we arranged for a deep cleaning, installed a water heater, massively trimmed or overgrown trees on the property. And once that was all completed, we made professional walkthrough videos, took high quality photos. Coming at you live with our newest listing in Valley Glen, California. You're gonna love this house. Thanks for taking a look at our property tour of this Valley Glen home here. 4 beds, 3 baths, 2,651 square feet on a 5,710 square foot lot. This is a great location in Valley Glen. We're south of Victory, around the corner from Kittredge Street Elementary. You can literally walk right out your front door, go right around the corner, and boom, the school is there. And we listed the property for sale more than $150,000 higher than the highest offer they received, generated 7 offers, and sold the home to an all-cash buyer, $300,000 over the asking price, and $450,000 more than the highest offer we received from the investor buyer. If you've got a similar situation and are looking for professional help and someone with integrity, connections, and know-how, please don't hesitate to give us a call. And for more real estate stories like this or upcoming listings, don't forget to like, subscribe, or forward this video to a friend, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate your listening to our story, and we hope that this helps. With the right professionals, miracles can happen. Take care, and thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.